So, today we are going to be finding zeros, which are also x-intercepts by factoring or with the calculator. Okay. Example 1, 2, and 3. Okay. You can do it with the calculator. Since I know how to factor, I'm going to factor because it's faster and it's more accurate. I'll say it again. You can do it with the calculator. Since I can factor, it's faster and it's more accurate, so I'm going to factor. Okay. So, number 1, I can do this. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to common factor because I notice that they both have a multiple of 3 in common and they both have a x in common. So a common factor out of 3x. Okay. So when I common factor out of 3x, I'd be left with an x plus 2. And of course I can check that because I know that 3x times x is a 3x squared and 3x times 2 is a 6x. Now I've got my mini equations. Oh, that's my phone. Ignore it. I got my mini equations, right? Mini equations. So I'm going to go into my 3x equals 0 and my x plus 2 equals 0. Divide by 3, divide by 3. One of my zeros is 0. That's an answer. 0 is an answer. Kind of makes sense though, because if you plug 0 into the original equation, it's going to make it 0. You guys agree? Plug 0 here and 0 here, it's going to be 0, right? And then here, minus 2, and I get x equals negative 2. Now, if you'd graph that, you'd see a parabola that would cross at 0 and negative 2. You really would, okay? But we're going to do it by factoring because it's easier, it's faster, and it's more accurate. If we can factor, right? Okay. Number 2, same thing. I'm going to factor it. It's faster and easier for me to factor, okay? So, x, right? I need the multiples of negative 12 that make a negative 1. So how about a negative 4 and a positive 3? Does that make sense? There's my negative 12 and I multiply them. We've been factoring for a month, right? 2 months, right? We should be able to do this. And when I add them, I get a negative 1. So my mini equations, x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0, right? If I solve plus 4, x equals 4, minus 3, x equals negative 3, okay? And if you were to graph it on your calculator, nice parabola, it would go through at 4 and negative 3. Are you checking them? What? Are you doing them? Are you checking them? Okay. Okay, number 3. Okay, Isaac, did you just do 3?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so here, real quick. So Isaac did 3, and it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Right? So Isaac graphed, it's kind of hard to tell, but guess what? It'll factor. Check it out. It'll factor. Calculus not bad. Factoring's better. So how about 2x, right? 5 here and 1 here because I'm going to check my double smiley. Check my double smiley. There's a 1x and there's a 10x, which makes my 11, right? They're both plus. Now, I'm looking for the zeros, right? I factor it, but I'm looking for the zeros, so I need to do my mini equations, right? Mini equations. So we're going to go 2x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 5 equals 0. We'll just solve, right? Minus 1, right? 2x equals negative 1. Divide by 2, and there it is. Negative 1/2 is one of them, and that might match up to that one right there, right? And then minus 5, x equals negative 5. Okay, and I'm glad you did this actually. Okay, so then let's go back to Isaac's calculator. Okay, so you ready? If you look at Isaac's calculator, my negative 1/2's got to be. See where my pencil is? Yeah. That's my negative 1/2. You guys agree? And there's my negative 5. You guys agree?
That's.
But it's, yeah, but it's hard. Yeah, you've changed the scale. But it's hard to tell from the calculator. You guys agree? Hard to tell. But if I can factor it, I think it's easier. I do. I think it's a lot easier, and it's exact. It's not an approximation, okay? All right, now, turn the page. All right, now, example 4. It won't factor. Will not factor. Doggone it. Means more work. Won't. It won't factor. Okay, so let's graph it. Okay, so if it won't factor, I'm going to go to graphics calculator, right? Y equals, let's go clear that, and let's put in an x squared. Subtract 2x. Subtract 5. Subtract not negative. Subtract not negative, right? And I'm going to graph it, okay? Well, it's in between, right? I know the answer is something like negative. I know it's one of the answers is like,
3.5.
yeah, -1, about -1.5 maybe. And the other one's like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5, right? But we can do this. We can go to our calculate. Remember, we're going to go to our second calculate button, right? That's that blue button. So I'm going to go second calculate. I'm going to find the 0. Right, there's my 0. I'm going to go to my 0. Enter. And let's find this one first. Let's find that one there. So left bound. So go to the left of it. So even though I'm above it, I am to the left of that point, right? Correct? Sorry, correct? I'm above it, but I am to the left of it. It's blank, blank, blank. Hit enter, locks it in. Right bound. So let's go to the right of the point. So even though I'm below it, I'm really to the right of it. Does that make sense? I'm to the right of the point. Blank, blank, blank. Push enter, lock it in. Guess, push enter. So the calculator is going to look for it in between here. There it is, a -1.45, right? So that's one of my zeros. I get x equals -1.45. And where's the other? Well, let's do this whole process again. So I go second.